Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an Airbus pilot, and in today's video we are going to see if the iniBuilds A320neo is able of flying an RNP AR approach. For this approach we picked the ANAF Zulu approach, runway 22 left at Nice, Côte d'Azur, and you can see that the weather is really not all that good over here right now. Now let's go ahead and have a quick look into the approach chart and compare that with the FMS. So this is the chart that we have for the approach. We are inbound to Sotox, and from here we are going to start flying our approach. Basically, you can first of all see that this is reserved for operators holding a specific RNP AR approval. Now, today we're going to assume that we have this, and the routing is going to be via Sotox on towards Nanax, maximum 240 knots at 3000 feet, and then via a couple of these ANAF points, we're going to follow the RF flag over here onto the final approach. And from there, we are going to land on runway 22 left over at Nice. So as you can see, a rather simple RNP AR procedure. Not really anything special about it. So, well, let's see what is going to happen over here. To give you a little idea of what we have in our FMS, you can see that we have a top of descent in 4 nautical miles, and this is what the approach looks like. From Sotox we go on towards Nanax, above 3000, speed is maximum 240, then on to India November 22 Zulu, above 2000 and 200 knots. Then we've got the last of those waypoints over here. And finally we do have our final turn over here, which does look pretty much correct. So it's going to be interesting to see how the airplane is going to fly this. Okay, so let's go ahead and start our initial descent over here. We'll go down about 3000, and I am going to fly a little bit slower than what the airplane suggests over here. I will keep our speed selected down at the green dot, or I could just go ahead, activate the approach phase. That's of course the easiest thing to do here, and then just go back to managed. Now, since we've overflown Sotox, let's go ahead and arm the approach mode, and it should capture latest by the time we reach the India November 22 Zulu point. Now the vertical deviation break is already shown, that's good, and for all the rest of it, we will just see how the airplane is going to handle it. From here on, all I will do is to apply the flaps as needed so that our speed can reduce, and I will leave the entire rest of the procedure down to the airplane to execute properly. Alright then, we have seen what our restrictions look like, so let's go ahead and get rid of those Navigraph charts. Basically, everything we need for this approach is already in our FMS. Okay, we do have a deceleration point over here. I am going to make use of this in order to extend flaps 1, which will be the indication for our airplane to start reducing the speed further over here. Apart from that, nothing that we are really going to do here. We will just let the airplane fly itself down and carry out all the procedures as per the request of our aircraft's automation. Okay, so 2000 is going to be our next altitude, and from there we are going to start our approach. So let's go ahead and just initiate that descent once more here. So descent alt blue. Okay, overflying the decel point, flaps 1, speed checked, flaps 1. So let's see what is going to happen over here. Speed is coming back nicely, the brake is coming alive. We should have approach nav capture by now, but let's see, maybe it's going to activate over the India November point. Wouldn't be surprised if it does. So we are meeting the 200 knot restriction just about fine, and looking into further deceleration, we got 10 knots now, 10 miles now. Okay, final approach captured. So that's our go-around altitude of 3000 sat. Checked. Okay then, let's start slowing down a little bit earlier so that we definitely are on speed for the final turn. Flaps 2. Speed checked. Flaps 2. Gear down. Interesting that it's sequenced that Fox 2 left Zulu point already. You can see the Mike November 904 is already the active inbound waypoint. Okay, flaps 3. Speed checked. Flap 3. A little bit rainy everywhere here. Not a problem for our approach. Flaps full. Speed checked. Flaps full. Landing checklist. Ecam memo. Landing no blue. Landing checklist complete. Alright, so now comes our interesting part of the approach. So we're on speed, on altitude, everything looking good. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. That is really awesome to see. Now comes the final turn though. Let's see if it is going to overshoot. We should end up exactly aligned on the runway, if everything goes right.
1000.
Checked. And we are fully stable. Let's see that from the outside for a second, shall we? Okay then, coming up nicely on the final, we are on the puppy. I will keep the autopilot in until we have eventually rolled out of the turn. And then we should end up exactly on the center line. And here we go. Pretty awesome. Slightly, very slightly right of center line. But apart from that, very nicely flown by the autopilot. Okay then, from here we can disconnect the autopilot and we can proceed for a manual landing.
300.
So all I can say about this is that the autopilot really did the job very, very nicely. Now let's see if we can do just as nice of a job bringing the airplane down on the ground.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
Okay, spoiler, reverse green, decel. $70 knots. Manual brakes, and the exit is ours. Alright, we're going to stop it once we have vacated the runway, and then we're going to do a little bit of final feedback over here about the approach and about our entire procedure and the way the iniBuilds A320 has flown it. Alright, we'll stop in front of the parallel over here, and well, then it's feedback time. So, what can I say about this approach? Well, mostly that the aircraft has really flown it just about perfectly. Now, there is one thing that I found in this aircraft. You really need to bring it in exactly on the spot. So you need to be on speed, you got to be sure that you enter the procedure from the right position. When you do that, then the airplane can really fly it down without any problems. I could probably have flown this one at Paro or at Madeira as well. And I'm positive that the airplane would have done just as nice of a job as it did over here in Nice. Now, once we've been established on the final, there's been a sync rate call out, which I didn't really understand. We were doing 800 feet a minute at that moment, and well, at 800 feet a minute you absolutely shouldn't get a sync rate, especially because we were perfectly established on the vertical path. But that was really the only issue that I have found for this video. Now, as always, Microsoft Flight Simulator, a little bit hard to maintain the center line after landing, but that shall not be part of the discussion for this video. Alright, and that's basically all there is to say about it. The iniBuilds is doing an awesome job flying those RNP AR approaches, and, well, all I can say is take yours, go out to some very nice airport, and enjoy the beautiful visuals as the airplane flies you down. With that, I'd like to say thank you very much for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to let me know in the comments below. I'm very much looking forward to your feedback. And as always, if you like the video, be sure to leave a like in YouTube as well, as it really does help out the channel. If you're up for more, don't forget to subscribe. And if you really love what I'm doing, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me a Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you for watching, and see you all again on the next one.